Kelly, girl. Kelly Price got on Beyonce's internet with a bonnet on her head and said, and I quote, "Black women, you are some of the nastiest, most disrespectful people on God's planet Earth," end quote. And I quote, "Some of y'all are nothing but DEI hires," unquote. She called people in the comments, quote, "keyboard thugs," unquote, and warned that they'd get their, quote, "ass whipped," unquote. She even said a degree doesn't give you class, unquote. Kelly also shared that people have called her a, quote, "fat slob," and she said people have told her that she looks, quote, "nasty," unquote, in her clothes, and even criticized her feet and said they were too big. And listen, if you haven't seen it for yourself, the video is circulating on TikTok. Go forth and look. You can go watch it with your own eyes and ears. Now, baby, let's be honest. How are you going to sell out shows if black people don't buy no tickets? Because she made a point of saying how, she going to be all right and her shows are still going to sell out. And for me, I don't see how that's going to work. And this is not me asking for a boycott. This is me asking an honest question. Because who does Kelly think has been supporting her all these years? Who bought the albums? Who been buying them concert tickets? Who keeps showing up when mainstream media rarely gives her any play on the radio? It's us. It's black people, especially black women. Hey y'all, hey, I'm Anne Marie, the founder and owner of AntiHR, an HR consulting company that provides employee-focused consulting. I spent over 25 years managing and overseeing human resources, and I'm also a licensed attorney. While I don't provide legal advice, I do share insights based on my deep understanding of how HR really works. My niche is teaching employees not just how to recognize discrimination and other wrongdoing in their workplace, but how to leverage that recognition into negotiating a paid exit, a severance, without having to hire an attorney or file a legal claim. These are things that HR doesn't even tell you exist because HR is not your friend. Before we dive in, make sure you like this video, comment, but do so constructively, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video when it drops. Now, let me be very clear up front. In my opinion, Kelly Price is an immensely talented singer. This woman sang background vocals for Mariah Carey and others before she ever stood center stage. She is an incredible vocalist, and that needs to be acknowledged. And this is just a fact. It's not open to debate. But talent and toxicity can exist at the same time and in the same person. And what we saw in that rant was a whole lot of toxicity. But here's the thing, though. Some of what she said wasn't wrong. There are people who jump into the comments online and viciously attack others. And I know this for a fact because I've experienced it myself. I've had people come into my comments and attack the way I look, spew all kinds of nastiness. Some of them appear to be black men. Some of them appear to be black women. In these days and times, it's really hard to tell whether you're even talking to a real person sometimes. But a lot of the people who come into my comments and say mean and hurtful things appear to be people who are also black. But my reaction is always the same. Block, delete, and get on with my day. And here's the difference. I don't take these experiences as representative of all black people, all black women, or all black men, because they aren't. And that's where, to me, Kelly Price went wrong. Instead of addressing the individuals who were cruel to her, she swung really wide and went after black women as a whole. And here's where I'm going to add a little bit of my own truth. As a person who for the first time in my adult life is fighting with my weight, obviously I'm not morbidly obese, but overweight by at least quite a bit of pounds, I understand that that can make you feel especially vulnerable when people comment about it. It doesn't feel good. So I can imagine the weight Kelly has carried being a dark-skinned black woman who has dealt with ridicule for her size for her entire career. She's admittedly in the video said she's been called a fat slob. She's been told she looks nasty in her clothes. She's been mocked for having big feet. Clearly, she has internalized a lot of this over the years, and she is very hurt by it. And I don't dismiss that pain because body shaming cuts really deep and it can last a lifetime. But the bottom line for me is that doesn't make it appropriate to lash out and attack an entire group of people wholesale, especially not the people who are your primary demographic. and the people who support you, the people who buy your damn concert tickets to your shows. And when she said, quote, a degree doesn't give you class, unquote, that told me she wasn't just responding to random trolls. She was targeting a very specific demographic of Black women, educated, professional, upwardly mobile women who often are her audience. That's what made her rant especially troubling to me. She took the insults she endured and redirected them towards the very women who have stood by her. So yes, I can hear the hurt in Kelly's voice, but again, instead of aiming her frustration at toxic beauty standards and the cruel culture of body shaming, she aimed it at Black women. And that's where the delivery, in my opinion, went wrong. Because while some individuals may have been cruel in the comments, it wasn't all Black women, and painting us all with that brush feeds into a very problematic stereotype we've been fighting forever. If anything, this should be an object lesson. We have got to learn how to disagree with each other without trying to tear each other apart. And that is what I hope I'm modeling in this video. I can critique Kelly Price's words without trying to destroy her as a person. It's also clear that Kelly has been deeply harmed by how she's been treated, especially on social media. And I think she just cracked under the pressure a little bit. Honestly, maybe she should have just run to Jesus instead of Instagram Live, but that was her choice. And if you listen past the anger and the meanness in her words, you can hear the hurt. And what do we know? Hurt people hurt people. And here's why this matters from my perspective. Because Kelly Price isn't just Kelly Price. You're going to come across people just like this in your workplace. And some of them may look just like you. Folks who are carrying hurt from past interactions, whether it's discrimination, rejection, or being torn down in another environment. And instead of healing, they pass that hurt on to everyone that comes around them, which will include you. And here's the kicker. Some of these people will look just like you. They'll be the manager who looks like you, the peer who looks like you, the VP who looks like you. But just because they look like you doesn't mean that they are for you. That unresolved pain can spill over into how they treat you, undermining you, dismissing you, or even targeting you unfairly. That's why we always say, all skinfolk ain't kinfolk. You've got to be discerning. You've got to know when you're dealing with someone's unhealed stuff versus actual workplace performance issues. Because if you don't, you'll internalize their hurt as if it's about you, when really it's about them. This is why it's so important to use the AntiHR documentation journal to keep track of your interactions in the workplace and document when they are discriminatory or retaliatory. If this video was helpful, hit like and subscribe for more strategies to survive and escape discriminatory, hostile, toxic work environments. And don't forget to check the links in the description to grab access to the resources mentioned in this video. As always, I'm Anne Marie. This is the AntiHR. Please remember, HR is not your enemy, but they are definitely not your friend, but I am. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.